here and vex his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. He was a righteous man. I want to bring up to where we are. There's Abraham and Lot, and they're coming out of Egypt. Abraham had gone down into Egypt, and they come up out of Egypt, and they see the land before them, and they were having problems between the two families. Now, Lot was the nephew of Abram, and when they came there, Abram said to Lot, we need to separate our ways. Our herdsmen and that are fighting. We have serious issues going on. We need to separate our ways. And he said, if you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. Now, when you look at that picture, being the nephew, he was a younger man. He was Abram's brother's son. Lot didn't even hesitate. Abraham had been promised by God. Lot didn't even hesitate to just jump at the opportunity to grab everything that he possibly could. And Lot is who we're going to be talking about today. Abraham is a good study too of a father. In verse 10 of chapter 13, it says these words. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plains of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord was the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. I want you to notice there it says, and Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plains of Jordan, that it was well watered. He saw this wonderful, beautiful valley that was full of growth and lustrous crops growing. And his eyes were focused on what the world or what that could do for him. If you look in chapter 14, verse 3, it says, and these were joined together in the valley of Siddim, which is the salt sea. You've heard of the Dead Sea, right? Where you can float. That is actually where Sodom and Gomorrah used to be. In the beginning of this chapter where we're reading, it says, it was lush, it was green, it was beautiful. This is what Lot saw. He wanted it. See, Lot made the choice to go after the things that would please him. And we're going to see as we go through that Lot made some decisions that were influencing his own family, his children, for the worse. It says in verse 12, he pitched towards Sodom. Now Sodom was a wicked city. We are starting to see a lot of it today, just like Sodom and Gomorrah was. It was sodomy. It was homosexuality. It was rampant. And we will see that in this chapter. And God says this is an abomination. The Bible tells us that God will judge those. But Lot, because of what this could give him, when he looked at this valley and Sodom and Gomorrah was in that area, he said, I'm not worried about what is going on around, the wickedness that's going on. I see what that's going to bring me in my pocket. He made a willful choice to go after the things that were going to bring him success on this earth. As fathers, we have to be careful. The decisions that we make are going to bring God honor and glory first. If we don't do that, we are going to fail our Lord and our families. Seeking Him first. In chapter 14, verse 12, he was taken. You read this. It says, and they took Lot, Abraham's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and all his goods, and departed. There was a war going on between the kings. And Sodom and Gomorrah were taken, and so were some of the other cities. And Lot and all that he possessed was taken from him. He was taken away in captivity. And Abraham comes back and he rescues Lot. God allowed Lot to see that even though he had everything, God could take it away like that. But he also blessed him by coming back. And rescuing him out of there. But Lot still didn't learn. See, Lot was a righteous man. But he had his eyes set in the wrong things. He had his eyes set on the body. He was looking towards the things of Sodom and Gomorrah. Later on, we read that he started to live in Sodom. I know from my own personal experience that after a while, if you allow things to go, you start to be controlled by them. And Lot started to live amongst those that were living in sin. And he was starting to be influenced by them. Chapter 19. We read these words. And there came two angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face towards the ground. These two angels had been sent by God to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. God is not willing that any should perish, but all should come to repentance. But there is a time when God will bring judgment. And he said, behold, now, my Lord, turn in, I pray thee, into thy servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet. And ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the streets all night. He pressed upon them greatly, and they turned into him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. He invited these two angels into his house. He still wanted to be with the things of God. He wanted to spend time in the presence of these two men because they were godly men. Angels sent by God. And he prepared a feast for them. And he asked them to come into the house. And at first they said, no, we'll just stay in the street. And in the Middle East, that was a common practice to just wrap up in their cloaks or whatever you call them and sleep on the street. But he said, no, come on in, come on in. And he goes into the house and he sleeps. He feeds them and they're there with him. And it says, verse 4, but before they laid down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house about, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. They wanted to be physically involved with them, and I'm not talking about fighting. They wanted to use them as their own prostitutes, men with men. And Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him, and he said, I pray you, brethren. Notice there he calls them brethren. These men were wicked, sinful people. Lot had started to lose what it was. You can't have brethren that are not of God. He was trying to be part of them. He said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. He knew what was right and wrong, and he was trying to tell them, don't do this, don't do this. This is a terrible sin. But then, because of where he was living and how he was living, in amongst sin, his judgment has been impaired. He says, because, behold, now I have 2 daughters which have not known men. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. He's willing to give up his own daughters. When I read that, I just can't grasp it. But that's how far he had gone. He lost his vision of who he was in Christ. He thought this would be better than what the men had intended to do. But you cannot condone sin in any way, shape, or form. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will need to be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them? And he pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. These men were determined to go on doing what they were going to do. They mocked Lot, pressed upon him. They were wanting to get into the house. But the men put forth their hands and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. He's talking about the 2 angels there. They grabbed them and pulled Lot back into safety. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness both small and great, so that they were wearied in themselves to find the door. God brought judgment through the 2 angels at that point. But I want you to notice that Lot, even though he was messing up, God still loved him and protected him. Brothers and sisters, we mess up. But God's hand, protecting hand, is always with us eternally. He chastises those that he loves, his children. But he will never let us go. We're always his children. And the man said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides sons-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city? Bring them out of this place. Lot had sons-in-laws. I mean, he had married children. I have 2 sons, 3 sons, 4 sons-in-laws now. Losing track. He said, son-in-laws, we need to get out of this wicked place. And today, as we look at the cities of today, and we see the things around us in this world, as Christian men, now I'm speaking mainly to men, but even ladies, we need to be careful where we go and where we associate with. These people were told to get out. And Lot, even though he'd been living the way he'd been living, realized that there was trouble. He was told by the angels, go tell your family, we need to get out. And his sons-in-laws and his family mocked him. Lot, how can you tell us this? We've been watching you for a long time. You're a hypocrite, a lot. And they wouldn't go. And we find that the family, Lot and his wife and his 2 daughters, they left. But it said he lingered. His children wouldn't listen. Then he lingers in verse 16. I don't know why he lingered. He knew God was going to bring judgment. Maybe it was what he had all around him and everything he possessed. He didn't want to let it go. Maybe it was his family that he was going to lose when he left. He lingered. He did not want to leave what he had. And the angels had to grab him by the hand and lead him out. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, and the Lord, being merciful unto him, they brought him forth and set him without the city. They took him out of there and put him outside of the city where he was not in danger. And it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou at all in the plain. He said, get out of this valley. The angels are saying, get out, get out, get out. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. God tells us over and over again. And I know personally myself, there's been things in my life where I started to drift away from where I ought to be, and God has come alongside me and sent men, pastors, or whoever it was, to guide me, to say, Ian, no, you need to refocus on where you're going. You need to get out of the path that you're on because you're going to end up in destruction. See, God always loved me and cared about me, so he would willingly send people into my life to speak to me. And sometimes when you hear somebody speak to you, you really don't want to listen to what they're saying. But I'm going to have to give up my truck and all those goodies that I've got. Not realizing that God had far more goodies than I ever dreamed of. But he wanted me to be a faithful servant. And sometimes we linger just like Lot did. We try to weigh the odds, or which one's going to be best for me. And God's way is always the best. But we as humans think, well, yeah, but look at that valley, how green and lush, and all that money that I have. Lot was already a rich man when he went there. Remember when they come up out of Egypt, Lot and Abraham were very, very rich. And there's Lot, he's still focusing on achieving more and more and more. And he loses focus on what God wanted in his life. And unfortunately, I see it so much in young men today. Materialism is becoming the main thing in life. Things of God are becoming second. There is absolute zero success that way as a Christian. The world is a totally different thing. But if you're a Christian, you put the things of this world first. And not God. That is a recipe that will fail. Lot still goes on here. He carries on and says, and Lot said unto them, O not so, my Lord. The angels had just told them to get out of the valley, go goes, oh, not so, my Lord. You're not listening, Lot. Get out. But I've got so much here. Yeah, and it's about to be burnt up. God is going to come down with consuming fire. And it's going to be destroyed. And we read earlier, it became the Dead Sea. That valley is no longer. Sodom and Gomorrah is gone. Everything that Lot had, he lost. But here he goes to the angel. Oh, not so, my Lord. And I love the graciousness of God. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto. And it is a little one. I'm not saying there's just a little city over here. Let me go there. God's saying, get out, go to the mountain. He goes, yeah, but there's just a little city over here. That'll be fine. God's graciousness, he grants it to him. He allows him to go to the city of Zoar. And he said to him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also. And I will not overthrow this city for which thou hast spoken. Hast thou escaped hither? For I cannot do anything till thou be come hither. Therefore the name of that city is called Zoar. And then it talks on and goes on. And it says in verse 26, and as they were leaving, Lot's wife looked back. See, the example Lot had been setting was making him want to yearn for the things of Sodom and Gomorrah. Maybe it was the family that she was losing behind. She looks back. Complete defiance of what God had said. He says, look not back. We've been rescued out of sin, out of the things of the world. We don't need to look back. We need to look forward to the things that Christ would have us do. If I were to look back at my life and the mess ups that I have made, I would not be standing here today. If I allow the things that I've done in the past and have been forgiven by God for, and I thank God for it. If I dwelt on the mistakes and sins that I committed, I would never reach a word in my life. Because I'd be looking back. We all have things in our lives where we look back. We don't need to. It carries on, and he left the city and ended up going to the mountains. And because he had got to such a point where he was alone and his two daughters with him, he lost his wife. His daughters decided to get him drunk, and they got pregnant from him. Lot failed as a husband. He failed as a father because he made wrong decisions. When his daughters decided to get wine and get him drunk, he could have said, no, I'm not drinking. It happened 2 nights in a row. But he willfully chose to take of that drink. You're a young person here. You will never hear me say it is a sin to drink of beer or anything like that. I can't prove it. But I can tell you this much. I've dealt a lot with people that have had problems with alcohol. They didn't get drunk on the first drink. It was over time and spending more and more time with that bottle, eventually they became obsessed with it. That's how Satan works. Proverbs 23 tells us to stay very clear on it because of the dangers of alcohol. Yes, I drank wine. I used to drink it with a meal all the time. But I made a decision as a father when we first had children that I would not drink anymore. Why, Ian? Did you think it was a sin? No, I didn't think it was a sin. But I wanted my girls to see a father that had principles, standards, that he lived by. I wanted them to see that he had things in his life that even though he knew it wasn't a sin, that he would not do because it could hurt them or stumble them. I wanted to set an example where they could say, well, no, Dad can do it, so that means I can do it. Dad doesn't want to drink, so if he can go to work and go and sit down in restaurants with all his colleagues and not drink, if he can do it, I can do it. Well, I've been mocked working. I'm going to finish the rest of the sermon another day. I've been mocked at work. Ian, come on, have a drink. Be one of the guys. Come on, what's your problem? No. You have the problem, not me. I'm fine drinking my coffee. You seem to have the problem, not me. I'm good. I'm just not going to wake up with a headache in the morning. As husbands, as fathers, as leaders, we need to set examples, not like old Lot. And Lot was a righteous man. He was God's chosen person. God loved him. But he decided what was best for him and not allowing God to do it. And when we put God out of the picture, we're going to fall flat on our face. Lot lost everything. I'm not trying to beat on people. I'm just trying to encourage you as dads and fathers, leaders. Let's not be a Lot. Let's be a person. Number one, God is first. The things of God first. Number two, family is second. And that means if we have to give up something, that it will encourage those children to live for their Lord. Let's do it. As leaders of the church, let us be people that people can say, like Apostle Paul, follow thou me as I follow Christ. Not Paul saying there, don't follow me if I'm not following Christ. Leaders of the church should be people that can say, I want to be like that man. He has such a love for the Lord. I want to be like that so my kids and my grandkids and my family see a difference. That's what I want to be. I don't want to be a Lot where if they get messed up and they don't realize that we have to abstain from sin. That they think it's just okay to do as we please. I want to be a man that they can say when I die, oh, I wish I could be like him. My grandfather was a man that I loved dearly. I only got to spend 12 years with him. Then I died. That man influenced me more than any man in my life. Looking at his life, you could almost think he was a perfect saint. There's one man in Basingstoke, England. They looked at him, my grandfather, as he was walking down the street, and said to their friend, who was a Christian, if I ever want to be a Christian, it's because of a man like him. And they pointed to my grandfather. He said, if anything would ever make me a Christian, it's a man like him. Or he was an awesome preacher. But he had an awesome life too. He would pick up the bum on the street, even though he was a multi-millionaire. You've never known it. You've never seen it with my grandfather. He would go out and buy cars for people that he knew were in need. And he would get one of his son to go and deliver it, because he didn't want to be there for the praise. He'd get his son to deliver the car to that person. A man full of love. A man that I can honestly tell you, God